What's up, Mercs? Good morning. So, like I said, today's the end of the day. We run half marathon yesterday running, and it was rough. So, got a cup of coffee. Always making bad. Look, I don't. It did too much, because I like raw. So you can see this is raw, man. Raw consistency, and was one of the things that in the sales business is important. We are so used to, as I was doing my running yesterday, I was listening to David Goggins, right? And he says part of the in his training videos, his training, it's like we we depend sometimes too much on people to get us to shit. He says, you know, and and that is right. Like for example, look, there was an issue with my, when I transferred the license plate on the truck, it's already in motion, so everything is good, right? I gotta go to the bank. The bank is not close. It's not that far away from here, so I'm just gonna walk. And but and actually to me doing this kind of walking in the morning is pretty much a reminder. It's pretty much a reminder of you're not too great to go back to basics, to kind of like go and do the right things with your time, the right things with like, oh, like I'm gonna go probably for a walk I don't know, in total we're gonna probably walk like I think it's maybe about three, about 6 miles. It's not that far. It's a little cloudy today. It's about, actually, what today is the last day in April. The first quarter of 2025 is gone. Man, it's just times go flies. It's just unbelievable. So keep in motion. We're in the process to move to a new place, and we're just like, it's like, okay, we are like in sections. We always push forward. Like yesterday I was doing my run, and it was like every stride, every pace was like, man, it's like I was in sales. I've been, having how far you've come into this life, and you're like, man, I remember. And as I was walking, I was like, so as I was walking the last couple of miles, I watched my clock, and I was like, shit, I'm not gonna make it. But I was telling my wife yesterday, I thought like, because I'm training to do, I haven't scheduled the run yet, but I'm training, right? So as I was training yesterday, I thought to myself, boom, you're on a race, and you have 10 minutes, 12 to 15 minutes to get into the aid station. If you don't get into that time frame, you're gonna get disqualified. So I thought, like, I do this if I was really in a real race, because you spend a lot of money to go those races. It's not like people go and race and you gotta accomplish. There's certain tasks. People have fun. People do these races for certain things, right? But I thought to myself, imagine that actually I was in an actual race, and there's no way that I'm gonna have DNF, which is did not finish, right? Because if you go through that process, not be so. I was hustling. I was like, and just finally, I made it. I made it on time to the house with the 7 minutes to spare. And I was exhausted because there's a little hill going to the to the final, kind of then goes into a little dip. But man, the last 2 miles was, as you can see in my face, I'm tired, man. I think my wife couldn't sleep last night, so I got up. See, this is one of the things that in life we're just like, and it is everything related to the sales. You got to change. You got to do things right. So it was about, I don't know, maybe 2 o'clock in the morning or 2:30, and she was like moving and tossing and turning. So I just like fuck it. Instead of, I was like, I'm very very that I if I'm tossing and turning, I like to get up and go to the other room and just not to let the other party to sleep. So I had to get up and went to the other room, and you can tell because she was in, and then she got up and looked at the clock, and I was like, this people, you got to clear your mind. You got to clear your mind. Going on Salzburg, so we went to the bank. Took us 22 minutes going back home. The good thing about going for a walk, we usually, we're getting used to the cars, man. So I took this as a blessing that I don't have, the license plate is in transit. So, but I take it as a good sign, meaning like, let's assume for a moment that you got to improvise, right? So you have maybe the phones are not working, and what you got to do, maybe go buy a flip phone and start making phone calls, right? Analog, and it's such a great lesson, right? So I'm just walking back home. It's gonna take me another probably, I don't know, 10, 15 minutes, 20 minutes. It's not that bad. So I was, we're living in a so high-paced world that all these folks are there on these avenues, and you try to. There's no walking. There's no walking in this time. Everybody's on their cars, getting ready. It's what time is it? It is about 8. It's about 8:24. Today's my late day, right? So go home, get a cup of coffee, do my training in the morning. I don't just go sit in the couch and wait until time to clock in. I'm doing stuff, man. I gotta actually post these videos. I gotta upload it. But man, it's just feel good to, you got to go back to the basics. Like every day is your chance to go back to the basics, right? So before you, as a salesman, you got to be, how do you go to bed every day? How do you go to bed? How do you turn off everything? And you just, okay, we're done. We said we want to accomplish these things. I just came from from the bank, right? Took some cash basically, since we stayed in Atlanta. I didn't pay for it, the company paid for that, so I got to do some, they did some transfer some money, to my car. So basically, I did some transferring of wealth, and it's done, right? So basically, what I did is use other people's money for my advantage, right? So pay some credit cards and some stuff. There was little payments, and just keep going. So I go home and just get at it. There's no keep the momentum going. So for me, doing these things in a daily basis, it is like, my wife was asking me yesterday, oh, have you seen this this old lady? She usually walks in dogs in the area that we live in. It's, I don't have time to, I don't, it's all these like nosy people, right? They're always like in other people's business. I don't follow any of these. I'm like, I have a goal every single day. Like if I'm not running, like I had to go to the bank today, so I went accomplish my goal. I have 3 hours. I'm going to do my training. I'm going to study some stuff. I'm going to do some coding. So it's just, you don't have time. Doesn't wait. Like these guys, they when you do just cross to the other streets, and if they don't have the stop sign, and even with the stop sign, they're like, people, I think we're living, I always say, in the biggest transfer of wealth in the history of the world, but also in the biggest stressful times in the history of the world. People are not paying. I had that little scrape in the parking lot because I was going for a run, and I felt impatient. Boom, I ended up paying. I was like, oh man, what? But it's one of those things that if you readjust. I didn't oh my God, I didn't ruin my entire day. I went to work earlier that Thursday. That was last week. Hey, that's why we pay. That's why we have insurances. Boom, boom, boom. And next time you pay attention. Because me, doing these walks kind of like puts you in perspective of, oh, I like driving my car. I like working hard. But at the same time, if you made a mistake, how are you going to make that mistake? Oh, go back to the basics. We have got some papers, and I fired my tax attorney, and the guy actually did, finally, text him, email him that I do, my license plate. No, Mr. Roberto is on transit. You should get everything ready to rock and roll. But I had to make that call. I didn't have to make that call. So for this point forward, sales, you have to check absolutely everything. You got to check absolutely everything. Don't let anything to a chance, right? So take every moment to think and execute. I'm a huge fan. Every time I go, there's nobody at home, put my training videos, get my cup of coffee, and train my scripts, my rebuttals, and I'm like, boom, what I did right yesterday, what I did wrong, due to I did my running yesterday. I mean, I was a little bit too extra tired, so my sales didn't go that well because I was tired, and I was like, dude, I was like making phone calls and had to get you a couple of extra caffeine, but I was like, because I did a little bit of extra, right? But in a good way was like, okay, the next day I'm up, I got up, I'm smile, you're alive, and you're alive. So you have another opportunity to redeem yourself. Every day is a new day. Every day you have a new body. Every day you have a new opportunity. Every day is like, okay, so good. I walk, get my stuff. We have a goal in mind, and I'm gonna tell you guys later. We have a goal in mind, and I'm just gonna show you. I'm not gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm just gonna show you. It's gonna happen in a few months, but I'm gonna show you later on. But right now is taking the bloody, boring things that a salesman had to do every single day. I was talking to my wife yesterday. Nobody sees the walks in the street. Nobody sees the midnight running, the midnight oil, and when I used to dig ditches for a living, and working construction, we get opportunity to learn a lot of construction for my real estate thing. So I took every opportunity to, like, what? I always said, I don't care if I'm digging ditches, but that someday this education that I get from working is going to serve me well in my future business. All these up on the roofs, I can signal cranes up and down. I know how to do the signals to, if I'm in the building, I can do all these things. I have an OSHA training, of course I'm going to do my thing. I'm going to hire, general contractor, right? But I have knowledge that I acquire for the past 50 years. So everything that you do is never in vain, man. We're so impatient because we want to see results right away. Let me walk in. I have another probably mile to go. It's part of my daily workouts that I usually go. Every day, man. But the end result is what I see. I drive a lot, and I walk a lot in the parking lots, and I see a lot of license plates that they're 2024, 2023. So when I have my thing I say, I'm not gonna do that. No, I hate doing that, because if I do it, I get stopped right away. And it happened to me. It's just the most annoying thing, right? So check everything. So I got across the street, and by the way, subscribe to the channel, man. Subscribe to the channel. You've seen this is golden. All this information is golden. All right, folks, we're back to safety, right? We're back to, we're back to the complex. So there's no traffic, and I feel like when I go to work, I feel like the old video game, the Frogger, right? Clink, 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 and there's the traffic, and there's the little frog. You try to cross the street, and then now in this case, if you get run over, you don't have a second chances. You're gone. So fellas, so this week try to accommodate yourself that you are the one. Canadian geese. Like, God called them flying rats, because the only thing they do is they eat and poop. And that's one of the things that I'm going to tell you then, and before I let you guys go. You got to know what kind of horse are you, right? Like the Kentucky Derby, I believe, this weekend. So all the fancy schmancy, they're getting together and the hats and the reaches and the wealthy dudes, the betting, and they have invested like millions and sometimes in the billions horses, right? It's just like the biggest event, the Triple Crown. Now, who's gonna win the Triple Crown? You are the Triple Crown. As I grew up older, you always like, there's always things that they put you into your mind, like you got to meet certain conditions, and you're not ready yet. So we start listening all these things through our years, and this is good. Just by the way, just listen. This is very important. Grant Cardone is going to tell you all these things, and all these influencers. No, we've been listening all our entire lives. No, for the first 10, 15 years in our lives, it's all kind of no. So that gets embedded into the subconscious mind. The no, the impossible, you can't do it, you're too small. And even though you don't see it, when you people see, like when I do my internal feedback, I say, man, we've been, we moved to another state. With most people, they say, I moved to another country 30 years ago. What I see, I don't check Facebook anymore. I don't do any of that crap. I think it's a waste of time. And there's a lot of people that stayed in the place that I grew in. So that, they're they're happy with their families, and that's how they did their lives. But for me, like I'm 50 plus, so 50 plus years of age. I'm just getting started. I'm not going to see, when I died, in the bottom of the rock is gonna say, basically, that motherfucker never quit. He never quit. He never quit trying. He never quit, excuses. He was always going. He did accomplish a lot of things, but it was on this way, and the guy never quit. Become a chaser, like you're chasing the Triple Crown every day, right? Like yesterday, I was running, finishing my normal race that I usually do, my normal run, and I challenged myself. Just imagine this is your first or second or third aid station for your ultra running, and if you don't get into that first stage, you're gonna get disqualified. So I was hustling, brother. I was so that I was tired. Even I worked from home and I was sitting in my chair. Man, I stretched a little bit. I took a cold shower, and I was like, I felt like I won the Triple Crown. But that feeling, you gotta. Even though it was a small victory, for me it was a big victory. So every day you think about that you're accomplishing big things. Every day you are accomplishing big things. Don't let anybody, no. Celebrate small victories, right? Celebrate changes. Celebrate, milestone, right? I'm gonna have a cup of coffee. When I get my cup of coffee, I train. I have you can find all of stuff YouTube Premium, man. You gotta find sales calls. You gotta find, all training videos. I became so self-improved. I'm thinking about, in a certain extent, I'm Cristiano Ronaldo, right? So what Cristiano Ronaldo is doing right now, he's preparing for the World Cup, man. That dude is preparing for the World Cup. That dude is probably in a secure location. Nobody knows. He doesn't post where he's going. He goes his routines, right? He goes to bed probably at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, because he wants to win that World Cup. right? You can tell that that's his mindset. David Goggins, he wants to win. Grant, he wants to win. What about you? You want to win? So you got to put all these like something like in the weekends. What are we doing? We stay at the house. I'm reading my books. You know, my wife is, because she works all day as well. So we just put in the time. Say, Fernanda, we can walk at the store if we want. We can put a shit on the credit cards that we don't have to, but we don't need to. We are preparing for the next level in our lives. And we're doing the boring things. Training and training. People ask us, you guys keep running? Yep. What do you do on the Saturdays? We go for a run, and then we watch movies about running, about competitions. We read some books. We get some cup of coffee, and we get ready for the next day because we have a goal in mind. And I'm going to show you what was the end result after that. But we're like constantly training and developing. You know, it's a never ending. Because what it does, so when you wake up in the morning, automatically your body wants to go. Your body is going, right? Because you already trained the subconscious mind that is going. Like if I don't do my run every day, or almost like since I did, like, you know, my body's like, okay, you know, you got to take a little off, but I'm still doing my walk, right? At 4 o'clock is my other time to my lunchtime. I'm gonna go for another walk, right? And then, you know, I changed my late days for Wednesday. So next week I have half day off, which I'm going to take my car to the shop. And it's just like on goal setting, you know, a daily goal setter, a daily goal hitter every single day, right? There's an influencer that I was a bunch of influencers. Either don't let these guys fool you. There's a couple of influencers because they're scamming people. Either they're in jail or they're dead because they did the wrong things with their time, scamming people, you know, promising things that it's just scamming people. And you know, social media, it is the biggest. That was the scammers are like, thank God for social media. Now if I put a little video, people are gonna fall into that crap, you know. Fitness, move, goal, achieve. You close your ring, Roberto, weight to size this morning. Seize the day. I have a trainer, rest in peace. His name was Bob Safra. You know, same as you know, Roberto is Bob Safra. Bob Safra used to do, you gotta seize the day. He was trained by the best, and that got embedded in me, man. Seize the day, seize the morning. Right, that's why the workout in the morning. That's why I got up, do my meditation, pray in the morning. And I'm seizing the morning, right? Seizing the morning, getting my stuff done, right? You know, the weekend is coming. What people's gonna already thinking? It's Thursday. People already clocked out, right? But we want to see a guy the other day. The guy was working on a Sunday. We're doing some business here and there. He was working on a Sunday. That's a true salesman, right? Because you got to do what you got to do. What most people do on a Sunday. Watching the ball game. I don't watch, you know, Ohio State. I mean, it's not college game. Dude, I don't have time, man. I'm like, I got to build my championship ring, man. I'm fighting for my championship ring, right? That's what I do. All these walks, and I go home and it's just like, read my books. Training the subconscious. Yes, I can. Yes, I will. You are the one. I believe in you. I believe in you. You are the Triple Crown. You are the winning horse. You know, you don't realize that you are the winning horse since the day you were born. The problem is our parents were too busy to tell us how proud we know. My dad, I mean, he actually a few years ago, he said it once, I'm proud of you, man. You know, I'm proud of you. Even though he was an alcoholic, 5 years sober. Alcohol runs in my family for probably generations. But I broke that generation. Nice portion. So, I broke that. So my goal is, every day for me is an opportunity to stay alive. So when I wake up, man, I put pictures on my Instagram before, man. My wife said, "Why didn't you do a live?" And it's an opportunity, it's a blessing. So 5 years ago, I've been every day, man. I hear the birds. So good. Oh man, that's good. That's good, man. It's a little cloudy. The first quarter of 2025 is gone. The first quarter of 2026 is gone. I'm sorry, living in 2025. The first quarter of 2026 is gone. January, February, March, April. Today's April 30 of 2026. What are you doing today? Oh my God, I'm gonna. Oh, no. Today, man. Today, right? What are you doing today that is gonna take you to the next level? Small little adjustments. That's why these guys train. Like think about it. What these guys are doing? They're running. Even though all the millions and the billions they have, man, I can tell you that Cristiano Ronaldo, once that he never won a World Cup before, Messi did. And at that point, it's not about the money. Messi did won the World Cup, but Cristiano Ronaldo never have won a World Cup. As a soccer player, that should be like not the ultimate goal in your life. Should not be the ultimate goal. But I can guarantee you that dude wants it, man. But he cannot do it by himself. He needs to be with a team. You cannot succeed alone in this world. I don't care who you are. You cannot succeed alone. So, and that's why I love I sometimes don't have time to work. I watch a couple of games because I'm on my back, in my business. But this next World Cup is going to be like, actually, it's coming. It's coming soon. But the one after that, is going to be in Saudi Arabia. That's going to be a World Cup like epic in scale. I'm going to that one, that's for sure. And I'm going to the one they're doing in Saudi Arabia. Oh, I'm going. This one is in the U.S., but I want to see. I'm training, so I don't have time. But go help somebody that can never repay you. Subscribe to the channel. And I love you. I believe in you. I'm getting hot. Woo. It was a little chilly now that I'm walking a couple of miles. I'm like, I need to take this switcher off. Talk to you guys later. Love you, and go do it, man. You have another minute to spare. Success doesn't wait for anybody. Life doesn't wait for anybody. Let's go, man. Let's go. I believe in you. Triple Crown. You are the Triple Crown. Let's go.